Turasuje mwese mukurikiye gahunda za televiziyo Rwanda turi muri Zaria Court ahagiye kubera umuhango wo gufungura ku mugaragaro iyi nyubako ya Zaria Court. Umukuru w'igihugu nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika Paul Kagame niwe ugiye gufungura ku mugaragaro Zaria Court. Rero Zaria Court ni inyubako ifite umwihariko kuko ifite ibikorwa bitandukanye bihuriye hamwe mu nyubako imwe, harimo ibikorwa hazajya hakorerwa siporo, harimo hoteli, hari aho bazajya bafatira amafunguro, hari iguriro naryo ririmo n'ibindi bitandukanye. Ni inyubako y'umushoramari akaba n'umufatanyabikorwa wa leta y'u Rwanda mu bijyanye n'ubukungu ndetse na siporo, by'umwihariko mu mukino wa basketball Masai Ujiri. Ni inyubako rero ibikorwa byo kuyubaka byatangiye muri Kamena 2023 binatangizwa nanone n'umukuru w'igihugu Perezida Paul Kagame. Iyi nyubako yuzuye itwaye miliyari 25, ni ukuvuga asaga miliyari 36 z'amafaranga y'u Rwanda. Ni inyubako rero igizwe n'ibice bitandukanye, birimo hoteli ifite ibyumba 80 za restaurant, aho gufatira amafunguro n'ibinyobwa, hejuru ku gisenge hari gym, hari aho gukorera studio y'ibiganiro, hari ibibuga bitandukanye, harimo ibibuga bya.
What a beautiful day to make history together. My name is Festus Ezeli, NBA champion. Proud African. And your MC today to celebrate the special event. We're celebrating the launch of Zaria Court Kigali. If you guys were here yesterday, you heard my story, but I'll tell you again today. I was born in Nigeria. I moved to the United States at age 14. About age 16, I started to play basketball. At that point, they told me that it was too late, that I didn't have a chance. But if there's something I learned in Africa, it's that we are never too late for our destiny. We just have to find the right court to step onto. And I think that's why today means so much to me. It means a lot to me, not just because I was a ball player. It means a lot to me because I am a brother that's returning home. When you look at Zaria Court, I don't want you to look at this as just a venue, because this is where sports, entertainment, culture, community, this is where it all comes together for us to build something that's gonna outlast us, something that's much bigger than us. This is about opportunity for the next generation. This is about legacy. Legacy for something that we're gonna leave behind. I think so much about this being about Africa stepping boldly into its future. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for being here to witness the beginning of this beautiful adventure we're about to embark on. So let's celebrate, let's dream, let's build this together. All right, so welcome to the launch of Zaria Court Kigali. All right, let's get the show going. All right, our first speaker, someone whose vision, whose leadership, relentless belief in the power of this continent has helped bring Zaria Court from idea to reality. As managing director and as partner of Zaria Court, he has been instrumental in getting us to this moment today. Please join me in welcoming a driving force behind this project, a true believer in Africa's potential, Mr. Andrew Feinstein.
Thank you all for being here. This is just unbelievable. Very grateful, especially to all of you who came from all over the world, especially the Denver contingency for flying all the way here. Thank you. But first and foremost, I just want to thank His Excellency, the team here in Rwanda, the government of Rwanda. You've always welcomed us. This has been our second home, and we just love being here. So it's good to be back home. You know, when you put a project together like this, a lot of people work on this, and you know, rather than just list every single name, I thought what we could do today is share the sequencing of how this came together, and utilize that as a way to share who was involved and thank them. So I'm sorry to read off my phone, but it is 2025. We're allowed to do these things. And I just don't want to miss some of the key people. So I appreciate Festus using the word vision, but a project like this, it starts with vision. And that vision really starts with you, Your Excellency, and with you, Masai. Without your vision and your evangelism for sports and entertainment infrastructure on this continent, Zaria Court wouldn't be here. So let's start there with thanking you. So a few years ago, after the BK Arena was delivered, I had the privilege of touring this site with His Excellency, with Masai, and we had a conversation about what else can we do in this precinct, and we came up with this concept of a sports, entertainment, and cultural district. And so I tapped on a really good friend of mine, a longtime colleague named Levi Johnson. Levi's over there. Levi and I have always had this desire to work on urban infrastructure in Africa. So they don't teach you this in business school, but if you're going to do a Pan-African real estate business, you've got to make sure your wife is on board. Really important. Really, really important. So my next phone call was to my brilliant and beautiful wife, Sarah. Shot, and not only has she been on board and steadfast in her support, but she encouraged us to move here a few years ago for about a year so we could really get this thing started. So Sarah, I love you, appreciate you, thank you. All right, so I'm going to go through a few more names. If we clap with everyone, we're going to be here for a while. So let's just hold our applause to the end. Thank you. Okay, so again, how do you get one of these things started? I want to acknowledge the Pendulum, Robbie Robinson, and Rish. Masai and I met with them very early on to conceive of how we could put this together. I want to thank Kevin from Exto and the Denver group for helping us out early on. And then we realized we need an operator. And so we tapped on Kyle Schofield from QA Venue Solutions. And Kyle's here with his wife, Wahida. And we also worked with Olive Hospitality. Our friends from Olive are here. They manage this hotel, Pan-African hotelier. They're terrific. And then the next step in the process is you need a design. You need an architect. And for something like this, you need a brilliant architect. And we worked with Kunle Adiyami and Barron from NLE. And then we have to start thinking about, well, how are you going to pay for it? So we had to put a finance team together. And that's when we started working with Chad and our accounting team from Anderson, Thousand Hills. And then we need legal work. I want to acknowledge Zaina, A&K, K Solutions, Equity Juris. And I also want to make sure that we acknowledge the Office of the Presidency. Your Excellency, your team has been just unbelievable to work with. You know, I tell our friends in Denver and our friends in the West, it is such a pleasure to work with a government that's in the business of yes. We really appreciate it. We really, really appreciate it. And that permeates through the Office of the Presidency, RDB, the Mayor's Office. We thank you all. You guys have been just incredible partners. The Sports Ministry, just incredible, incredible partners. Fundraising, BK Capital, Bank of Kigali, thank you. We really wanted to work with a local team, an all-African team and a Rwandan team. Our shareholders, Helio Sports and Entertainment Group, RSSB, and our consortium of shareholders, thank you. Project management, Mace is here. James, Grace, team. Grace has been incredible. She's here somewhere. Thank you, Grace. Architecture, local architecture, FBW. Construction, real contractors. We worked with a local construction firm. They did a great job. Great job. IT services with Clayton, Sarah, and Andy. CJ, thank you for helping get this thing to the finish line on the development side. leasing. We've got these great tenants. Please, please visit our tenants and start spending some money there. And then now we have an active management team with Waleed and Che. So thank you guys for helping get this thing done. We really appreciate it. One more quick one. You can join me. It's okay. Messiah, I want to thank you for being a great friend, a great partner. I want to thank your family, Ramatu and the kids, for being here with us from day one. It means a lot. And I think we should all thank the Giants of Africa family, the Giants of Africa family. Giants in Africa and Zaria are like first cousins. We're like first cousins. And we collaborate, we work together, we play together, and it's been an incredible collaboration. So thank you, Giants of Africa, and thank you for having us this week, and back to Festus.
Of course, thank you. One more time for Mr. Andrew. I don't know why more people don't thank their wives when they come up here. That was the biggest applause I heard all night. I love it. All right, when I think of the next speaker, what I think of is African excellence. The word vision comes to mind again. I think of leadership. Not just in basketball. All I hear is him championing the African continent. And in a lot of ways, he's the reason why we're all here today. You know, we talk about how one man can change the world. Well, we're witnessing it right now. We can see one man changing the environment around him. It's inspiring to me. He's an NBA champion, business leader, global philanthropist. But for Masai Ujiri, the real victory has always been closer to home. It's been right here in Africa. Through Giants of Africa, through his relentless advocacy, through his work here with Zaria Court and this vision, he's never stopped believing in the power of this continent, in the youth, its potential, its future. His career is not just about building teams. It's been about building an ecosystem. He's not just about inspiring players, he invests in places. And every move he makes is rooted in one simple belief, that Africa can and will lead the global stage. I love this thing that you say, Masai, all the time. Africa, we are coming. I want you guys to say that with me. Africa, we are coming. Africa, we are coming. That's right. Please join me in welcoming a true champion on and off the court, a son of the continent, a visionary, and a builder of futures. Masai Ujiri, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, His Excellency, every distinguished guest here. I call him His Excellency too. I'm so happy that somebody I've grown up in northern Nigeria, idolizing, Aliko Dangote, is here with us. To all our beautiful families, Kigali is home. Everybody I've seen here, it's my beautiful wife and my kids. They're supposed to be sitting here, but they decided to run to the playground. Yes, my beautiful wife, who's always supporting, and family. Yes, please. Festus, I never forget. I'm telling you, I never forget. You know, I really want to start with something that I think Festus has said a little bit. When you talk about vision, you talk about leadership, you talk about engaging people, partnerships, everything that you can think of in bringing people together. That's what President Kagame stands for. And yes, I want to say thank you, Mr. President. We don't say it, I don't think we say it enough, because I know how many youth in this continent plays sports, and no leader gives us a chance. And nobody sees us and sees sports as something that can enhance our lives in Africa. They don't. We see sports as recreation. We see sports as competition, and we don't see sports as a business. President Kagame has seen sports as a business, an economic driver that can really, really develop a country and our continent. We need that chance. You see this court here? This court creates community. You see these venues? These venues create value. You see the whole ecosystem. The ecosystem creates economy. And we don't understand that enough in Africa. So, to be given this unique chance here to build a sports city, starting with that arena, then the stadium, then the ecosystem that feeds it. So we can buy our jerseys, we can come to a sports bar, we can have ice cream, our kids can play in the playground, we can stay here in the hotel, we can chill in the pool deck, we can go to the rooftop lounge, we can go work out in the big gym that's open to the public. This is the power of sports, yes, and how it can bring all of us together. And you can see it in every city in Africa. We have this right in the middle of the city, and they are all of them, nothing is happening. They're all destroyed. They were built 50 years ago. There's no vision, and we struggle in sports. When the Olympics is coming, or we have to prepare, or there's a competition, they paint them. And then you see a lovely old man or old woman or young person sweeping. You have 4 or 5 workers. And we leave those buildings and these spaces, and they rot and rot and rot and rot in Africa. And we listen to people and politicians and governments and presidents that continue to suppress us, and we're not going to take it anymore. This is a template in Africa. So His Excellency, we're going to force them now to do it. Yes, we're going to force all these people to build, yes, and to grow. We can't keep complaining in Africa that they don't want to do it, that is bad politics, that is this. Now we are going to take the issue to them. Yes, we're going to do it. And we're going to show this template. This is a template in Africa to create that ecosystem. We have the artists, the sportsmen, the comedians, the chefs, everybody that you can think of. We monetize. Yes. Why can't we have BK Arena? It's the same as Scotiabank. Why can't we have naming rights? Yes. Why can't we do all of that? Yes. Why can't Burna Boy, Davido, Tiwa, Uncle Waffles, all these people, why can't they tour in our continent? We can't do a tour in our own continent. Yes, it's wild to think about it. And we sit here and we look at it and we let it happen. Meanwhile, our youth continue to grow and continue to be big and continue to be talented. Yes, why can't Pascal? Why can't Embiid? Why can't all these guys come and play in our arenas, in our own continent? Why? Yes, why? Why not going to sit down and look at this and let it happen? Yes? And they even helped it by giving me 1 year off. The continent is in trouble now. So, in this process, many people have helped. You know, many people have helped us grow, and many people have built this. Look at the architecture in this place. Let's look at it. It's a flow. It flows. So I'm going to call on Mr. Kunle Adeyemi to come with me. I called Kunle up and I said, we're building, we're growing, we're trying to do this. Kunle, just in a couple words, tell me how inspired you are and how you thought of this space.
Thank you very much, Masai. Thank you. Thank you, Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's a great, great honor to have everyone here. And yeah, it's really emotional. I think, Masai, you've said it all. I think, you know, for us in the industry of transforming vision, as Masai and the great leaders have, into material form, space, it's really around how to project excellence, taking something that we already have that seemed quite ordinary to become something extraordinary. And that's what we did here, something we already have. It was a building that has been here since the 70s, 80s, and we looked around, we looked at what we could do here to you know, just make it a place of vision, like you've really explained, and to ensure that there's inspiration and ambition for the young ones. I think this is a space that we hope can inspire, can allow people to be, to learn from the leaders and to learn from the leadership that we have here. So we do hope that this space actually achieves the visions that you've set out, and we trust that hopefully in the next years, the young ones playing around will become even greater future leaders, as we see here. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. I have a partner in crime here, Amadou Fall. Jess, do we have a for Amadou? Yes, thank you. I have a partner in crime. We've traveled the continent for many, many years, and can you come for 1 second here and just, the president of the Basketball Africa League. This whole ecosystem, we know the deals that you've done here with His Excellency, with RDB, with sports. I think it's one of the finest deals that bring in BAL here, and it's a symbol everybody watches around the world, and everybody sees the coming of basketball on the continent. Tell us a little bit more on how this has come about and where it is now.
First of all, incredibly inspired. This, I believe, maybe less than 2 years ago, we were here for a groundbreaking. To see now this world-class facility come to life is a testament to what is possible in Africa and what is possible especially here in Rwanda. Because as you will recall, 2018, we just finished the last Africa game in South Africa. We flew here, spoke to His Majesty, His Excellency, and less than a year later, that arena is here, BK Arena, that allowed us to bring the Basketball Africa League to life. When we launched the Basketball Africa League, we talked about this being an economic growth engine for the continent that is going to create jobs, that is going to have innovative entrepreneurs think about what else can we build in the ecosystem, because we wanted to build the entire ecosystem, and that's what you guys have really done here, in terms of Zaria Court, a place where, using the transformative power and the convening power of basketball to build commerce, to build community, as you said earlier. This is what gives us confidence to say that we are going to build the Basketball Africa League into one of the best professional basketball league in years to come. Is because of this opportunity we see here in less than 2 years, having something like this come to life, thanks to visionary leadership and thanks to the ingenuity and then what you guys have managed to do in bringing great minds, people who are passionate about Africa, people who, as you said, no longer want to sit aside. We want to take our destiny in our own hands. The talent we have on this continent is unmatched by any other place. So we are able to do this because of leadership and really vision, and we are going to continue to push across the continent, and I love to hear that there's a vision to have this in every major African cities, because our youth need this, our continent deserves this. This is about Africa having a presence on the global stage and in a big way. Thank you.
Thanks, Amadou. Thank you. That's awesome. So I'm going to give a couple shout-outs, and they don't like me giving the shout-outs. So somebody that's made this thing move a little and really works hard, and I call her, or I'll tell my wife, call her, Ange Kagame. She doesn't want me to mention her. Yes, she's a driving force, and keep going because you're building, you're growing. My boy Fred Swanika, I know you've, ALX they occupied that workspace over there. Thank you for your vision. When we did the groundbreaking, we walked through some of the spaces, and Fred said to me, I'm getting that space, keep that space for me. And you came through with it. Achaleke, my boy, right there, investor in this. Thank you for your support. You're great. Nelly, my Minister of Sports, yesterday your speech was incredible. You've given us so much encouragement with Giants of Africa and everything we're doing here. So thank you. Women in sports, yes, let's move. Speaking about women in sports, Claire, can you come up here for 1 second? Yeah. So we actually did this deal with you. Yes, very, I don't want to say complicated, but you put a lot of things together. HE was really good with everything that the space he gave us to operate. You now work in the NBA, yes, as the leader of NBA Africa. Tell us, you go from government to now the NBA. How does that work?
First of all, it's really nice to be here. Those days when we'd be driving to this side of the city, would say, I'm going to Remera, or I'm going to Amahoro. These days we say, drop me off at the sports city.
Yes.
And so, as somebody as former CEO of RDB and having seen all of this grow, it's really incredible to see that strategic investments like this really unlocks jobs, creates infrastructure, and allows a lot of long-term economic growth to happen, and that's what we're seeing here. But moving to the NBA, I see the same. First of all, I think all that we see here demonstrates that sports infrastructure is smart infrastructure.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
But at the NBA, I see that also every single day. I see that sports is an economic engine. Sports actually allows a lot of opportunities for growth, opportunities for jobs. In fact, at the BAL, as Amadou will have told you, just 4 years of BAL playing in 4 countries created $250 million in GDP and close to 40,000 jobs.
Yes. Amen.
As I was working with Masai yesterday, I asked him how many jobs has only Zaria created. They told me 500 jobs. So you can see, and being here in Zaria Court, I think it combines the two. It combines economic development, it combines sports, and brings all of that together. It's that ecosystem that brings dreams to reality, that brings entrepreneurs to work here. In fact, I would just say sports should be an economic priority for every country. If you're not putting sports at the center of your economic growth, then you're already playing from behind.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you. That's awesome. Man, they talk about weather and beauty like it was hot here a couple hours ago, but we can actually sit here. Excellency, can we sit here for like 4 more hours? Like, yeah, this is beautiful breeze, no? I want to acknowledge a couple more women who have been really powerful in sports, in what they do, and encouraging. Mama Louise is here. Hi, Mama Louise. Yes. Robin Roberts is here. Yes. Good morning, America. Yes. Yes. Chinelu and Oha from AFDB, thank you. Thank you for being here. And our very own Chine Ogumuke, yes, WNBA, ESPN. How do you play in the WNBA for 5 days and then you go to ESPN for 5 days and then you come back? That's African talent right there, yes? Yes. Huh? At all, at all. This is beautiful. So, when we talk about how these partnerships are made and how these things work, here has been a symbol. Trying to work with a couple countries, and I'm not throwing shade on any country because we're going to push them to actually do this. And we're going to use everything from top to bottom here as the template. So, we did this deal with RDB when Claire was there. Now, John Guy, Africa, you are the man in charge here. Okay, come and tell us, come. Your microphone is right there. So, the scope of your work is big. I've seen you in Germany, seen you in LA, seen you in All Star, seen you in all these places trying to do deals and trying to bring partnerships here. Tell us how some of this stuff works, the BAL, MBA, all those things, and how you guys are really, really involved in that.
Thank you very much, Masai. I think, let me start from the role of governments, and I'll discuss it from 2 angles. A lot has been said about the importance of visionary leadership. For us, the vision was very clear early on. It was about positioning Rwanda as a global hub for investment, for tourism, and sports, as well as innovation. So laying out the vision once it's clear is the first part. The really difficult part to getting us to where we are today, an actual sports city, is the enormous amount of coordination required behind the scene. There's a little bit of the Ministry of Sports here. There's a little bit of RDB, a little bit of COK, the city of Kigali. There's a little bit of the police in making sure that we have a secured environment. And even, Mr. Aliko, a little bit of making it easier to travel to Rwanda by removing visas on arrival.
Yes.
I know you're a big proponent of that. A little bit of Rwandair. So my point being, Masai, it requires, beyond the vision, tremendous amounts of consistency and discipline in execution over time, decades sometimes. So thank you, Your Excellency, for keeping us really aligned in terms of the vision and executing in a disciplined and and dedicated manner, because this is where it's challenging. As far as once the vision is cleared, the role of government is really to set up the right policy, legal, and institutional environment to remove pain points and friction and create a space where people like you, Masai, can come and deploy their ingenuity and their creative expression. There is no way that government could have thought of something this type of mix, but the way you've highlighted it is really the objective. We focus on creating the enabling environment, but in turn, there's always a hope that we get people like you to believe in our story and to come and invest here, their time, their energy, and their resources. So thank you very much, Masai, for what you've done here. Please give him a very big round of applause. This is my last point, Masai. As far as what we do, in the government, it's not just RDB, it's really the whole of government that works as an investment facilitation machine, if you wish. It won't stop here. We make a big promise. You have invested now, and we are going to accompany you along your journey so that you recoup your investment as quickly as possible and you reinvest. Thank you very much, Masai. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. I am so happy. I'm so happy that there's two of the most incredible leaders and two of the most successful people in Africa, President, His Excellency Paul Kagame and Alhaji Aliko Dangote here, that set the standards really, really high. I'm telling you, I have so much bragging rights to tell everybody that these two guys were here when this was open. I'm so proud, so proud of this. Lastly, I won't keep you too long. Lastly, we were in All-Star 2016. Some of you have heard me tell this story, and it was very, very cold in Toronto. Some of you were there, about 40 degrees below. And President Kagame came to All-Star, spoke in MB Africa. We had an incredible event, and he came to the games. And one of the games, he sat down, and he had his head like this, and he looked like, I thought he was sick or the cold. My wife came to me, and she said, go and check on Excellency, go and check on him. He might be sick, because he hadn't put his head up for a while. And I went to check on him. And when I asked him if he was okay, he asked me, how much does it cost to build an arena like this? Excellency, you didn't build an arena, you're building Africa. Thanks. We got a video to play? Yes? Thank you. Thank you.
Giants of Africa started in 2003 with one camp, one court, and one dream. We weren't just building courts, we were building confidence. Creating spaces for young Africans to stand tall, speak boldly, and dream big. And Giants of Africa was never just a camp. It was a calling. To believe in the brilliance of our youth, to bet on the boundless energy of Africa's next generation. And as we traveled across the continent investing in the lives of young people through basketball, we saw something bigger. A land full of talent, full of possibility. Young people who needed an ecosystem that matched their ambition. And then came a question. In Toronto, during NBA All-Star Weekend in 2016, His Excellency President Kagame turned to me and asked, "Why not us? Why don't we have arenas in Africa? Why not the future we build for ourselves?" That question lit a fire, which became a framework, not just to build more courts, but to build more arenas and facilities. Not just venues, but entire districts where sport, culture, entertainment, and community could thrive together. Because sports infrastructure is infrastructure. Because culture is capital. 3 years later, the construction of BK Arena was completed. 2 years ago, we broke ground on Zaria Court, Kigali. And today, we launched Zaria Court to the world. Because we are all architects of an African Renaissance. And so we ask you, don't just celebrate this moment. Carry it, champion it. Let Kigali be the first of many, because the future is African and the moment is now. And for Zaria Court, well, we're just getting started.
Wow. I am so inspired, Masai. This is beautiful. I'll tell you guys a quick story. I remember when I was growing up in Nigeria, I thought that I only had 3 options. Shanae, can you remind me what the options are for what you're going to be when you grow up? Doctor, lawyer, engineer. And I had to convince my parents that I wanted to play basketball. I was like, no, but you don't understand. I can get a scholarship this way. There was a real fight. And now my mom is with all my life. But it's done a lot for a lot. When you think about it, I want you to think about it as a business. It's not just people putting a ball in a basket. There are doctors who are employed. There are engineers who create arenas. There's people who are selling merchandise in concession stands, all the way down to the police force who take care of the people who come in and out of the arena. Everybody has a job because of basketball. And I am so proud and honored to welcome my next guest because of him, all of this is possible. A leader whose vision has not only shaped Rwanda's future, has also inspired an entire continent to think bigger, to build smarter, to believe in itself. His Excellency President Paul Kagame, understands the true measure of leadership is not in words, but it's in action. A leader who invests in his people, in his country, and in the kind of infrastructure, physical, cultural, economic, that transforms nations from the ground up. Under his leadership, Rwanda has become a global model for progress, for innovation, for resilience. And perhaps nowhere is that more evident than in this investment in sports, in entertainment, and in cultural ecosystems. Areas that are too often overlooked, but he is championed as essential to identity, unity, and long-term prosperity. This Zaria Court, Kigali. This entire Kigali sports city, it stands as a living testament to his belief that world-class African infrastructure should not be the exception, it should be the expectation. He's a builder of institutions, a champion of youth, a global figure who reminds us that the future of Africa will be shaped by Africans. And my favorite thing is he's a Golden State Warriors fan. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming His Excellency President Paul Kagame.
Excellency, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for for being here, and you always give sports a huge, huge chance, and you always listen to us, the only one that listens to us. We broke ground there 2 years ago, and there was a vision. How did you think or see this coming? Because you've always talked about a sports city.
Wow, it's, you know, in my life, when I was a kid and growing up, and especially as old as I am today, with all the hassles and struggles of life, I learned one thing. I wasn't a sportsman by any standard. Up to now, I don't have very good ideas to do business, and so many other things. There are many things I'm not capable of doing. But I learned that I'm capable of doing something. And that was to enable, to support others in what they can do. And especially in my position now, I found that while I can't do business, I can support those who are capable of doing business to do it by creating an environment for them to do that so that they can succeed, and in the end, I and many others benefit from that. Same thing as sports. I wasn't a sportsman, at least not playing sports. I was a sportsman at heart. I thought more about that, and even thought about what I missed if I had been able to do sports. I was always thinking, now that I haven't been able, how much I missed in that. So bringing together those two things, again, in my position, given my background, my history, and my struggles, I set out to always say, I can't do nothing. I always have to do something. And if I can do something, by enabling those who can do much more that benefits them and the whole country, and as you said, all this builds communities, builds families, builds individuals. So if I can be part of that story where I can provide something that brings those together, I'm the happiest person. And that's how one idea came after another. Of course, you learn, you see, you hear, you discuss with many people, like so many discussions I have had with you, Masai, and many other friends in this field of sports. Then that's how the idea came up, and said, maybe we could do something in Rwanda. Which one is it? Where do you start from? And of course, many other people make some inputs as to what can be done, and that's how the idea of building this sports city came up. So, we are not stopping here. We keep growing. We keep going. And again, if that can inspire others beyond our borders, and if we can be part of that story and through cooperation, we are again very happy to be part of that.
How do you see this? How do you see all of this really inspiring and maybe even shaping? I think some people don't see sports, entertainment, and culture even shaping an economy, shaping a country. How do you think you are known now for the person who has really brought sports to the forefront in Africa, separate from AFCON, but in terms of the business, how do you see it shaping economics and countries in the future?
It does a lot. It has already done it. It's not just the future. And I think many people here and beyond see it for what it is. They've already seen the benefits when we talked about the numbers in terms of employment in this area of sports. When you talk about what, for example, the arena, the stadium, and it's already happening. People are taking notice of that and counting and knowing that it has employed so many, it has brought in so much. And that interaction around of people here in Rwanda with the rest of the world speaks volumes in terms of value. So it has already brought in a lot. And it's a question of growing that. And we also know that statistics show that even across Africa, in terms of sports, it's running into billions as to what sports can bring to the continent. Tens of billions. So they shouldn't just be hearing this as a story. I think what we do as leaders at different levels is to encourage people to be part of realizing that story and reaping the benefits. And it's happening, so it's no longer something you just listen to and think it is for others and not for you. Now people believe. They start by believing, and when they start by believing and see things happening, then they believe even more and get more involved, and I mean, the sky is the limit.
I have so this one is a tough question. How do you use your influence and your leadership and what you've done to get to other leaders to believe in this or to see it? Because a lot of them don't see sports and entertainment in this way. How do we get to 53 other leaders to think this way?
Well, I have been there before with the tough questions. So I try my part. I always try. I think the best way, if you told people stories and the benefits of what you are telling them, but you have nothing to show to prove your story, the story you are telling them, right. You have no example that they can see. I don't think people will believe you or will even care. But I also want to assume that it's not me having to tell anybody the benefits of this or that. And so, because some of them already know really the benefits of this, and they know they can do it. They know they can even do it better than Rwanda. So the simple part for me to play is to speak out, and speak out loudly, and show what is possible and the benefits, and also demonstrate what I'm talking about that has already happened here in my country, and how beneficial it is, as an example. So from their understanding and from their seeing the examples, I think maybe out of 10, you will convince 2, 3, and they'll feel the sense of urgency to do that kind of thing themselves. Then you keep trying. Maybe another time, you win another 2, you win another 3 over to what the discussion is about. It's not going to tell people stories, you see, or even you can't give them instructions, you must do this, you must do that. No. They have their own right and to the business they want to do for themselves, for their countries. But you can always share the experience and the benefits, and also that calls upon more cooperation among ourselves, being honest with each other, and sharing as much as we can. But for me, I always tell them the little things people talk about Rwanda, and they highlight some kind of success story. Yes, they can actually do better, much better than Rwanda, because they have almost everything to do that. And it is to the benefit of their own people. There is no country across Africa, no nation that doesn't have young people to the north of 70% or 60% of their populations are very young. And if you can't find something to excite, inspire, and move this big part of the continent's population, I don't think we would be doing justice to ourselves. So it's really speaking out, it's sharing, it's showing examples, it's even making appeals. Can appeal to people, and they will listen to you if you package it well with this sense of examples, and showing the benefits, and the benefits to the constituencies of our populations that deserve to see that happen.
You know, excellent. So my last question, but I'll go to youth. I'm going to go to youth now, and I want to give a prime example of what President Kagame does. So when the arena was built, I had a conversation with His Excellency, and he asked me, who is managing this arena? Who is going to create the business? And this is an example how he gives opportunity to youth. So I make a suggestion to the president, and President, 1 second, okay? You guys have seen him. He manages all these properties, okay? All these properties. And the reason why I stand here is why we have to bring all of this together, yes? we have to manage that arena. We have to manage this property. We have to manage the stadium. President Kagame has redone and rebuilt an incredible, incredible 60,000-seater stadium. 45, sorry, 45. I added 15.
It's the same.
Yes. And this young man came in here and he came and presented to myself and Claire and Andrew on how he sees the vision of managing this. We went and presented this to His Excellency and he said, why don't you give this young man a chance? Okay? And look at where it is now. Carl, in 2 words, tell me how this thing is going and tell Excellency how it's going.
In 2 words. Well, let me first say thank you, please. Thank you, Masai. Thank you, Your Excellency, for the opportunity. On how it's going, I think it would be wrong of me not to acknowledge someone who really supports me, who's my wife. But yeah, exactly. Festus would have had me there. But no, look, I think from our side, you know, the way we look at it is, it's one thing building this beautiful infrastructure. It's another thing breathing life into it. And you know, that's really the aspect of commercialization. I learned that in my young days, of how do you commercialize assets. And that for us, the way we look at it is people. People is our currency. And that's what we focus on, is how do you create spaces for people to come together, for people to convene, to interact with each other. And for us, our focus is always creating that space, and you can see this today at Zaria Court. We've literally brought that together and created this ecosystem that we constantly speak about, that allows for us to bring people in. And I'll leave with one last point, which I'm extremely proud about, because today, 3 years later, it still reigns supreme, is that we focused on people and we focused on the human currency, and today we still sit with the largest naming right deal in Africa. I say that with all pride.
Thank you. Thank you. A youth that has been given incredible opportunity by His Excellency here. His Excellency, the youth, there's a movement. You saw the kids in the arena yesterday. First thing you said to me today when we saw each other this afternoon, you asked about the kids, you asked what they were doing. You've given so many youth opportunity. We brought 350 kids from all over Africa to the Giants of Africa Festival. But it's not just that. It's not even just sports. It's in everything. Where do you see the youth movement on the continent? Where do you see the hope of the youth for us in Africa?
Well, it means, in my mind, thinking about the youth of Africa, and I don't think about borders. I think about, and in fact, the story told of the young person we gave opportunity to manage this, it demonstrates that. You know, in the past, well, some of the things we've done is really to change the mindset, primarily, of how to go about things. Ordinarily, at the time you are looking for people to manage this place, somebody could have come to you and say, you know, well, let's go and look for a Rwandan who can do it. Why do you bring anybody from somewhere else? That happens very frequently in many other places. But we did not hesitate, and because of what the story I'm just telling, we could not hesitate that the person who is capable of showing that he can do it comes from another country. So we freely accept that, and that's how really we've changed things here. So for the youth, need to make sure that everything we do simply translates their potential, their hidden talent into reality. And we have to keep investing in them directly, but also in the facilities that can help them utilize or bring out this talent and to benefit them, but also to benefit their communities. And the youth, we will always have to tell our young people to start by believing in themselves and therefore believing in their place, in their continent. Without that belief, it becomes more difficult to translate this potential into reality that we are talking about. So for the young people, they are the first asset the continent has. The rest come following that. But they must also believe in that and see that, and therefore work hard and work as much as the opportunity provided across the continent provides them. So what else can I say? Yeah.
I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for your vision, your friendship, your openness. You bring all of us here together. Now we come here how many times?
And before I finish, Masai, before we end this conversation, and with everybody's attention, all things we have said and the stories we have heard from different people, I wanted to acknowledge the presence of Aliko Dangote here. Yes. And for additional reason other than what was, there are many reasons, but I want to add one important one. He's behind an idea and also built on some of the frustrations we expressed here on the stage. Yes. About where the continent is and where it should be and so on. He has brought up an idea of African Renaissance, which was mentioned. And this has been to galvanize the understanding, the support, the buy-in of our continent, whether leaders, political leaders of different places, business leaders and others, to really focus on what is it that can take Africa from where it is and put it where it should be, and not have that story remain just as a story, but something that translates into tangible results. So he's been behind that, and I just want to express that some of us are very happy to work with him and other leaders. They have already had a meeting here in Kigali, and many other meetings will be held. But to really look at what, and maybe working also with the African Union in the settings of it provides. So thank you very much, Alhaji Aliko Dangote.
You know how we Africans are. I was blessed to be selected among these people in the African Renaissance in this program, and we were in the room, and the whole time, I swear, I was like this because of the people in the room. You know, like I'm telling you, like it's incredible how we Africans are walking. And I didn't say it just to say it, to have these two incredible leaders here, to see us in this space, to sit down like this. I am a proud, proud, proud African, and I'm proud, yes. I'm proud to know you all, and I thank you all for coming out here, for coming from further places. I thank you, Excellency, for receiving everybody and being very homely for all of us, because I'm telling you, we all just stroll into Kigali and act like we all own Kigali now. We just come in and it's home, you know, like it's home for us. So thank you, Excellency.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alaji, for coming. Yes, thank you, everybody. Festus, are you coming back? No, I'm not taking your job. I know I don't have a job, but I'm not taking your job.
Thank you, His Excellency. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure he wouldn't want to take my job.
So many amazing things were just said. I try to leave every event with something that I've learned along the way. People ask me all the time, what is it like to win an NBA championship? What is that like? You know, I'll tell you something that sports have brought to my life. Sports has taught me discipline. It has taught me teamwork. It has taught me perseverance and persistence. But the biggest thing I learned in sports was what my college coach taught me, Kevin Stallings. He said, it's amazing what can be accomplished when nobody cares who gets the glory. I only say that in this instance because we've talked a lot about vision and building a better Africa and continuing to promote the country. But that is on all of us. And I even urge our leaders to take the young people, while we're still optimistic and we're excited and we're energetic, take us along with you so we can build this future that we're talking about. But each and every one of us, for me in basketball, I had to set a screen for Steph Curry every day. So when you see Steph Curry hitting all those shots, you see the back of my jersey in the shot every time. So I'm like, yeah, that's me. Pause, Mom. You see me right there. But I'm so proud of all the records he gets to break, because that's my job. My job was to do that. My job is not to be the person hitting the threes. My job is to set the screen. And so maybe our jobs along the way is to support the youth. Our jobs is to keep the court clean. Our job is to promote what we're seeing here and be the voices that promote what's happening right now. So on behalf of the entire Zaria court team, I want to thank everybody for being here, because this was not just a launch. This is a global launch of Zaria Court Kigali, okay? Now we're setting our sights on this bold vision for Africa. Now we see what's possible when sports collides with community, with culture, entertainment. It has been an honor to celebrate this milestone with all of you. But this party is just getting started, okay? In just a moment, His Excellency President Kagame, Masai Ujiri, and Andrew Feinstein will head inside the hotel. And if you're wearing a blue wristband, you're invited to make your way into the hotel as well, the hotel lobby. Head up to the rooftop to join them as they're entering the building. For everyone else, this is your